Hey everyone, welcome back to the syllabus orientation video part 2. We're going over course recommendations and expectations. Obviously you're taking an online course, so you need regular access to high-speed internet, particularly for the timed quizzes. That's very important. There are no prerequisites. Prerequisites, by the way, is a class that would be required before you take this class. However, having taken English 1A, which is our college level English course, does definitely help because we've got a lot of writing in this course. The analysis paper requires you to cite your sources and write at a college level. So if you've not taken English 1A or you do not feel comfortable with citations, it just may mean you have to work a little bit harder. You do also need to cite your sources, by the way, in the discussion board homework as well. This class is a lot of reading. You can't get the information in there any other way, really. I do have, obviously, lectures that go along with the class, but you're looking at, for a 3-credit course, if it was 18 weeks, it'd be about 9 hours a week. You guys are in a 16-week course, so it's probably closer to 9.5, 10 hours a week worth of homework. So that's reading, lecture, and assignments. So, and most of the learning that you do is on your own, reading the textbook and the primary source documents. So that part of it is really, really important and crucial to be successful in the class. And I'm not reading through this entire syllabus because I don't want to bore you to tears, but you should read it on your own, by the way. Guidelines and etiquettes for the online discussions. Kind of read through these. I adopted them from a professor from Oregon State University, but generally speaking, we're asking you to be respectful and responsible in your posts. No racism, sexism, etc. You are free to share, of course, your opinion, but do it in a respectful manner. To really participate actively in the discussion boards, and that doesn't mean just, high five, you did a great job, but actually discussing the course material. We'll go over this a little bit more depth in the last part of the syllabus orientation, but the reply posts in the discussion board are really meant to be an active discussion of the content of the historical themes, ideas, and not a peer review of your fellow students' homework. It's not, you explain that really well, or I understood it so much better after I read your post. That's not where we're going for. We're trying to discuss actually themes, ideas, cultural trends, so economic trends, political trends. Those are the things that we're supposed to be discussing in the discussion boards. So make sure that you're utilizing discussion boards for that, and then take a look at those other things that I'm asking you to avoid, right? No personal attacks, and so on and so forth. Zoom etiquette policy doesn't really apply unless you're in the Zoom office hours, because I don't do live Zoom sessions for this course. They're pre-recorded, but just keep in mind that if you are in there during office hours, to make sure you abide by the Zoom etiquette policies, like wearing appropriate clothing and so on and so forth, right? All right, accommodations. This one's kind of a tricky one for my CCAP classes. If you have accommodations through the high school, you definitely want to reach out, because those usually at least partially transition over to the college, but it's a kind of a lengthy process. So any sort of like extended time for tests or things of that nature, if you have accommodations, make sure you reach out to either the LB campus or the Merced College campus to get in touch with them and get that process started to have those accommodations follow you into the college. That it's not an automatic thing. All right. Academic misconduct. The big issue that I generally have in my online classes is plagiarism, where students are borrowing from various internet sources and copying and pasting them into the discussion board or into the essays for the essay quizzes, essay exams. So just don't do it and you won't get in trouble. But copying and pasting directly without citing sources or putting things in quote marks as plagiarism, it results in an automatic 0 on the assignment test that I find it on. You are free, at least on the discussion boards, as long as you're using the textbook and lecture material first, you are free to do and use outside sources as well, but you must cite those sources and treat them appropriately, quoting quote marks around direct quotes that you use, full works cited page if you pull from Khan Academy or wherever it is you're looking at. So make sure that you please cite your sources. Also, if you have a sister, brother, cousin, friend who took the course before, don't copy and paste their homework from previous classes. I have caught students doing that a time or two. That results in a 0 on the assignments that I find the cheating on. So just don't do it and you won't have an issue. If it's, if it's a severe case of, then there are other potential ramifications, including getting reported to the college. Generally, at least on the first offense, I just give students a 0 on the assignment that it's found. So don't do it, you won't have an issue, right? Sexual misconduct, hopefully you don't experience or see this, but if you do, there are reporting requirements. So there's a link to that as well. Drop policy, if you don't complete the introduction, I tend to drop students. If you're running into any issues, I'll try to reach out to you first to make sure that maybe it's not just like a tech issue. And then if you have excessive absences, which I define as failing to log into the course at least once a week, or skipping more than 2 consecutive discussions, that's back-to-back discussions, then I reserve the right to drop you. I do understand these are, difficult times that we're in with the pandemic and all that jazz. So I do have some flexibility in that, but you do need to reach out to me if you're running into like medical issues, right? And then the other important one is you really ultimately are responsible for dropping the course if you decide you don't want to take it. Don't rely on me to drop you. Don't rely on your high school counselors to drop you. If you want to drop the course, that really is your responsibility. And you are officially a college student and you can on your own drop the course. I know it gets a little tricky with the high schools if you have like a period set aside for this class. So make sure you do reach out to your high school counselors. But I just want to say that if you're in the class and you don't participate and you don't drop it, you will end up with a grade. And that is on your official college transcripts. And if you don't participate, most likely that grade would be an F. So be careful with that one. Late work policy. I let you skip 2 discussions of your choosing. So I don't tend to accept late discussion board posts unless there's some extenuating circumstances. If you're out for a week or you're overwhelmed because of maybe high school sports and you're taking EP classes too, you got 2 weeks where you can skip your homework in this class. So choose wisely. And then if you need a short extension for the quizzes or exams, I can give short extensions, but make sure you email me or text me before the due date passes. All right, the next section, if you scroll down and click next, we'll go over just the calendar for the course for the semester. I don't do a video for that one because it's pretty self-explanatory. So take a look at that real quick, and then you'll click next again, and then the last one will go over the grading policies for the course.